Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Bo-chan.
I'm Nimacum.
I'm Van-chan.
In this class, I'll read all of you a part of Ulysses,
Bess,
L.
Ulysses, James Joyce, Tab 1267. But anon they were overcome with grief and clasped their hands for the last time. A fresh torrent of tears burst from their lacrimal ducts in the vast concourse of people, touched to the most core, broke into hair-trending sobs, not the least affected being the aged prebendary himself. Big strong men, officers of the peace and genial giants of the Royal Irish Constabulary, were making frank use of their handkerchiefs, and it is safe to say that there was not a dry eye in that record assemblage. A most romantic incident occurred when a handsome young Oxford graduate, noted for his chivalry towards the fair sex, stepped forward and, presenting his visiting card, bank book and genealogical tree, solicited the hand of the hapless young lady, requesting her to name the day, and was accepted on the spot. Every lady in the audience was presented with a tasteful souvenir of the occasion in the shape of a skull and crossbones brooch, a timely and generous act which evoked a fresh outburst of emotion, and when the gallant young Oxonian the bearer, by the way, of one of the most time-honoured names in Albion's history, placed on the finger of his blushing fine and expensive engagement ring with emeralds set in the form of a full-leaf shamrock, the excitement knew no bounds. Then, even the stern Provost Marshal, the Lieutenant Colonel Tomkin Maxwell Frenchman and Tomlinson, who presided on this sad occasion, he who had blown a considerable number of sepoys from the cannon mouth without flinching, could not now restrain his natural emotion. God blame me if she ain't a clinker. That there bleeding tart. Blimey, it makes me kind of bleeding cry. Straight. It does. When I sees her cause, I thinks of my old mastership what's waiting for me down Limehouse way. So then the citizen begins talking about the Irish language and the corporation meeting and all to that, and the shonans that can speak their own language and Joe chipping him because he stuck someone for a quid in bloom-putting in his old goo with his trope, and he stumped that he catched a of during talking about the Gaelic League and the anti-trading league and drink, the curse of Ireland. Anti-trading is about the size of it. Up. He'd let you poor Omanov drink down his throat till the Lord would call him before you'd ever see the froth of his pint. And one night I went in with a fellow into one of their musical evenings. Sun and dance about, she could get up on a truss of a she could. My Maureenly, and there was a fellow with a ballyhooly blue ribbon badge spiffing out of him in Irish, and a lot of clean buns going about with temperance, beverages and selling medals and oranges and lemonade and a few old dry buns. Up. Flahula entertainment. Don't be talking. Ireland's sober is Ireland free. And then an old fellow starts blowing into his bagpipes and all the gougers shuffling their feet to the tune the old cow died of. And one or two sky pilots having an eye around that there was no goings on with the females hitting below the belt. So Hondeverl, as I was saying, The old dog, seeing the tin was empty, starts mousing around by Jer and me. I train him by kindness. So I would, if he was my dog. Give him a rousing fine kick now and again where it wouldn't bind him. Afraid he'll bite you? Says the citizen. Chewing. No. Says I. But he might take my leg for a lamppost. So he calls the old dog over. What's on you? Harry? Says he. Then he starts hauling and mauling and talking to him in Irish in the old. Taza growling. Letting on to answer. Like a duet in the opera. Such growling you never heard as they let off between them. Someone that has nothing better to do ought to write a letter pro bono publico to the papers about the muzzling order for a dog the like of that. Growling and grousing, and his eye all bloodshot from the draught is in it, and the hydrophobia dropping out of his jaws. All those who are interested in the spread of human culture among the lower animals, and their name is Legion, should make a point of not missing the really marvellous exhibition of synanthropy given by the famous old Irish red setter wolf dog formerly known by the sobriquet of Garyuan and recently rechristened by his large circle of friends and acquaintances, Owen Gary. The exhibition, which is the result of years of training by kindness and a carefully thought out dietary system, comprises, among other achievements, the recitation of verse, our greatest living phonetic expert wild horses shall not drag it from us, has left no stone unturned in his efforts to elucidate and compare the verse recited, and has found it bears a striking resemblance that tilaks our hours to the wrens of ancient Celtic bards. We are not speaking so much of those delightful loathsomes with which the writer who conceals his identity under the graceful pseudonym of the Little Sweet Branches familiarised the Fulcilving world, but rather as a contributor d. Full. T. Points out in an interesting communication published by an evening contemporary of the Hasher, and more personal note which is found in the satirical effusions of the famous Raftery and of Don O'Mac, incident, to say nothing of a more modern lyrist at present very much in the public eye. We sub you in a specimen which has been rendered into English by an eminent scholar whose name for the moment we are not at liberty to disclose, though we believe that our readers will find the topical allusion rather more than an indication. The metrical system of the canine original, which recalls the intricate alliterative and the syllabic rules of the Welsh England, is infinitely more complicated, but we believe our readers will agree that the spirit has been well caught. Perhaps it should be added that the effect is greatly increased if one's verse be spoken somewhat slowly and indistinctly in a tone suggestive of suppressed rancor. After Louis lights. So he told Terry to bring some water for the dog, and up. You could hear him lapping it up a mile off. And Joe asked him would he have another. I will, says he. A char, to show there's no feeling. Crap. He's not as green as he's cabbage looking. I sing around from one pub to another, leaving it to your own honour, with old girl chaps stuck and getting fed up by the ratepayers and corporators. Entertainment for men and beast. Could you make a haul in another pint? Could a swim duck? Says I. Same again. Tay. Says Joe. Are you sure you won't have anything in the way of liquid refreshment? Says he. Thank you. No. Says Bloom. As a matter of fact, I just wanted to meet Martin Canam. Don't you see? About this insurance of Prodignums. Martin asked me to go to the house. You see. Hey. They didn't. I mean, didn't serve any notice of the assignment on the company at the time and nominally. Under the Act, the mortgage you can't recover on the policy. Holy wars, says Joe. Often. That's a good one if old Sherlock is lended. So the wife comes out top dog. What? Well, that's a point, says Bloom. For the wife's admirers. His admirers, says Joe. The wife's advisors. I mean, says Bloom. Then he starts all confused, mocking it up about Mortgagger under the Act like that. Ward Chancellor giving it out on the bench and for the benefit of the wife. And that a trust is created, but on the other hand at Dignam Old Bridgeman. The money, and if now the wife or the widow contested the mortgage right to. He now had the head of me addled with his Mortgagger under the Act. He was buddy safe he wasn't running himself under the Act that time as. A rogue and vagabond, only he had a friend in court. Sling Bazzotta gets all, what do you call it, Royal Hungarian Privileged Lottery. True as you're there. Oh. Come in, meet an Israelite. Royal and Privileged Hungarian Robbery. Suburb Doran comes lurching around, asking Boom to tell Mrs. Dignam he was sorry for her trouble, and he was very sorry about the funeral, and to tell her. That he said, and everyone who knew him said that there was never a truer. I finer than poor little Willie that's dead to tell her. Shocking with bloody foolery. And shaking Bloom's hand during the tragic to tell her that. Shake hands. Brother. You're a rogue and I'm another. To be continued.